Waiting for Jeff. Waiting for Jeff. London, do you know where Jeff is? Well, we're getting settled down here. And you all made it through the rain. Thank you for coming. And I think we have people on Zoom who maybe are still in their PJs. So I'm waiting for Jeff Melcher. Here he comes. Okay. So welcome, everyone, to the First Unitarian Church of Oakland. My name is Laurel Liefert, and I have the honor of serving this feisty, rowdy, passionate, justice-loving, caring community of seekers. We call ourselves a come-as-you-are congregation because the first principle of Unitarian Universalism is that all are worthy and all are welcome. So again, a warm welcome to those of you who braved the rain out there to be here in person in this beautiful sanctuary, and also a welcome to those of you who are joining us virtually this morning. Our congregation is one that seeks to be a beloved community, and what that means is that we lift up the values of multiculturalism, multi-generational, and what is it called? Multiracial. Anyway, we are trying to be a big tent here in downtown Oakland with a light that beams out joy and justice. And so, Jeff, let me invite you up to do the land acknowledgement. So again, everyone, welcome.
As a tradition, every Sunday, we acknowledge that our church is on property that used to belong to the Ohlone Muwekme peoples. And we just want to acknowledge that although we personally were not responsible for taking that land, we do actually benefit from the system that did that. So keeping in mind that those peoples still exist today, and we want to support them in their rematriation of land. And the next slide, this slide will invite you to go to segorte-landtrust.org and make an annual donation. You can make it a regular donation to help people who used to have this land buy back what used to be their land. So now we're going to sing We Give Thanks. And you're invited to stand at the body of your spirit, move around. Now inviting Lauren to come up and read our call to worship.
Without death as part of the cycle of life, the sweetness of life would turn to a bland, unflavored oatmeal served day after day. Death is not something to ultimately be afraid of, yet there is no rush. We are all guaranteed to get there eventually. So let us savor the unique flavors of each day, the sour, bitter, and pungent, as well as the sweet. It is all part of the smorgasbord of life. Today we are called to a ritual of remembrance in the tolling of the bells. And we say together,
Come, let us worship together.
So those of you who know the chalice lighting words and the hand signs, join in. If you are new here today, just watch and it'll soak right in. We light this chalice, symbol of Unitarian Universalism. May it remind us of the divine spark in all of creation, the power of love to heal what is broken, and be grateful for life's blessings each day. And we will light a candle in honor of peace, which there is militarism in the world today, and militarism is both a racist and economic disaster. So we hold within our hearts and we move within our hands the actions of peace, anti-racism, and ecology. May it be so. And let us say together, and then we also get to sing. We know this, some of us. We do the snap, clap, clap. Peace, salam, shalom. 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 May peace prevail. So I'm going to come on over to the kids here. We've got a little kids' corner thing happening. We got a hand raised. You got a question even before we get started. Can you hold on to it, Otto? Okay. You have a comment. I know you have some brilliant mind stuff going on. We'll talk about it upstairs, because upstairs we're going to... You have a question? What's your question? Oh, yes. And we're going to do that. I'm first going to introduce it. So, as we mentioned earlier, without death being part of the life cycle, the sweetness of life would turn into a bland, unflavored oatmeal served day after day. Anybody ever had to do that? Today, we're going to have a ritual of remembrance, a time here and now to remember people in our lives who died in this past year, or a pet that died or needed to be euthanized. We call it tolling of the bells because for centuries, hundreds of years, there's an old tradition of ringing church bells to ring out the remembrance of those who have died. That punctuated pop of the bell ringing trails off in our hearing, but the sound vibrations go on longer than we can hear. Just as a person or pet lives in our memory long after they have died. So death is not something to ultimately be afraid of, but there's no rush. We are all guaranteed to get there eventually. As Unitarian Universalists, we do not, as a religious movement, have one answer to what happens to the spirit of life as it dims from the body. We hold that embracing the mystery of the spirit and the transition at death to be one of great wonder. So as you all, children and families, are ready to light a candle for a person or an animal in your life, you may come up one at a time or make a line to take your turn and speak the name into this microphone if you choose. Then light a candle with the help of your adults or me or Reverend Laurel, and place the candle close to the center. This is important. This is a fire safety thing. Y'all kids listen in there? Got it, Otto? So when you light your candle, you're going to put it close to the center so that people don't have to reach over your candle to put their candle in, all right? And parents, I invite you to share your remembrances at this time as well in this family ritual. And then after you speak, a bell in the back. Oh, the bell here will be rung by Vincent. You're going to ring the bells? Okay. We'll have a bell ringing for each remembrance. So let us begin. Yep. Okay. Last year, every kid had something to say, so we have this special time
Do you want to come up?
to come on up.
Leah, do you want to come up?
My name is Wade, and my grandpa passed away. My name is Georgina, and my friend's dog passed away.
My name is Lauren, and my grandfather, George Rockwell, passed away on Thanksgiving, and tomorrow would have been his 100th birthday.
Michael Baglino, the grandfather of my friend.
My uncle, Robert Reed, and my father, Dolan Reed.
This is for our dear family friend Rashida. Her mother passed away this past year. God bless her.
If there aren't any more children or families have a sharing, you can just whatever's in your heart, know that we're thinking of you, and the children will have a chance to talk about this upstairs. And I think that completes our children's ritual. And Otto, I'm glad you got to light your candle. And now we're going to sing Go Now in Peace and sing the children out. congregation once on the edges in the middle of the aisle want to make up an arch for the kids to go through. I think they enjoy that.
Well, in a little while, all of you will have an opportunity to come up and light candles. So for our greeting today, let's stay in place, and why don't you turn and greet a neighbor? And if there's someone who you haven't met yet, introduce yourself and start making connections as we weave our tapestry of love we call community.
So I will be playing that melody at the end of your closing remark.
Okay.
Right? And how does it end with an amen?
I'm not sure.
You just turn and, oh no, turn and look at me.
Okay, folks, let's start getting ready to sing again. See what I mean? This is a rowdy crowd. You can rise and body your spirit and sing our hymn. It's a new one called Green.
Yep, give her a second. There we go. Good morning. We're going to learn a new hymn today. It's from the virtual hymnal that has been published by the Unitarian Music Association. The choir is going to sing it. We invite you to sing along. The words will be on the screen. If it goes a little fast for you, just enjoy the words and begin to sing along when you feel comfortable. The melody's familiar. The words are new. I think you'll enjoy it. Take a breath, feel your feet. We can do this. Just enjoy the music. When winter's gray is on the sky, rust on the leaves that lie, red on the last few berries clinging, brown on the branch where the bitter winds sing. Even when white obscures the scene, still in winter there is green. Waving defiant pine tree boughs, cedar needles stubborn and proud, hiding inside the seeds of summer, deep in the root where it sleeps under cover, patient in the winter there is green. Give it a try. Death may raise its voice today, oh, but life will have its say, speaking in lovers and in children, in poets' pen and philosophers' visions. Life is a plan, its daring dream, Earth's devotion spoken in green. So keep it in your winter store, hang its garland round the door, grant to your heart its hopeful purpose, fashion a wreath for its blessing upon us. Winter brings brown and grays indeed, but when it comes, remember green. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you. Have a seat. It'll be even more familiar next time we sing it. Thank you.
You shall ask. You shall ask, what good are dead leaves? And I will tell you, they nourish the sore earth. You shall ask, what is the reason for winter? And I will tell you, to bring about new leaves. You shall ask, why are the leaves so green? And I will tell you, because they are rich with life. You shall ask, why must summer end? And I will tell you, so that the leaves can die.
Well, this is the day we come together to learn, to yearn, to mourn, and to celebrate. We come to care for one another and for ourselves with tenderness and understanding. Together we embrace the joys and sorrows in the wondering, wandering, curious, courageous lives we lead each day, waking up and doing the best we can. When the bell sounds, those of you who are here in person are welcome to speak out loud or notice quietly what's in your heart this morning. And those of you who are with us on Zoom, you are welcome to put in the chat what you would like me to read out loud. An embracing meditation. My brother Mark, Jess, and Peter, Nick. Glenn Del Baca, hello. Wishes happier new year to all. And John Shinnick, second sad emotion, and Sherry Larson Beville has in her heart all of those who work for peace. Evelyn Seidman wishes happy solstice and best wishes for the new year. And we have a Joys and Sorrows book that we keep out in the narthex, so when you come in, you can write in it. And here's what has been written in it this morning. Strength and perseverance to Terry Lovett in her fight for justice for her son, Jelani. Love to my recently deceased mom, Karen Strait. Strength to the people of Venezuela in a time of violence and fear. And comfort and love to Angela Cray, who lost her son, Timon. For all of those that have been spoken out loud, and for those that I've read to you, and for all of those things that remain in the silent sanctuaries of our hearts, let us say together, we hold them in our care. You know, our joys and sorrows is about our personal lives. But before reading Winter Blessing by Rebecca Parker, I'd like to acknowledge a concern and a joy in the past week in the larger world we share. So the concern is about Trump ordering the capture and imprisonment in New York of Venezuelan President Maduro and his wife. And the joy is in the inauguration of Zoran Mamdani as the mayor of New York City. Mamdani called the capture an act of war and a violation of federal and international law. And I joined Pope Leo in calling for an end to violence, respect for human rights, and prayers for the Venezuelan people. Let us offer prayers for peace, justice, and stability in Venezuela, in our country, and in the whole world. Amen. So, Winter's Blessing by Rebecca Parker. In the shadowed quiet of winter's light, earth speaks softly of her longing, because the wild places are in tears. Come, she cries to us, kneel down here in the frosty grass and feel the prayer buried in the ground. Bend your ear to my heart and listen hard. Love this world, she whispers. Distill peace from the snow and water the cities with mercy. Weave wonder from the forest and clothe grief with beauty. Rest in the rhythm of the turning year. Trace the bending arc, rounding the curve toward justice, and vow anew to do no harm. The winter trees stand watch, haloed in the last gleams of the slanting sun. Glory sings here, heaven echoes the call, repeats the sounding joy. Make your life an answer. Bow, praise, rise. Make your life an answer. Bow, praise, rise. Amen. The choir.
A blessing for the brokenhearted. Let us agree for now that we will not say the breaking makes us stronger, or that it is better to have this pain than to have done without this love. Let us promise we will not tell ourselves time will heal the wound when every day our waking opens it anew. Perhaps for now it can be enough to simply marvel at the mystery of how a heart so broken can go on beating, as if it were made for precisely this, as if it knows the only cure for love is more of it, as if it sees the heart's sole remedy for breaking is to love, still as if it trusts that its own stubborn and persistent pulse is the rhythm of a blessing we cannot begin to fathom, but will save us nonetheless.
Love Still. Thank you, Sarah. And thank you, choir, for that beautiful song. We pause this morning at the beginning of a new year to look back and remember those who have died in this past year. Because we're human, I think all of us have experienced losses. I know that I have, some large, some small. The ones that are hard to bear are what breaks our heart, but makes us realize that the other side of love is loss. I know that you are grieving losses, loss of a parent, loss of a friend, loss of a job, loss of a dream, loss of hope. Well, we're gathering this morning to grieve together and to keep the light of hope alive. Together we'll celebrate the lives of those who we have lost. Yes, we will celebrate those lives, but not to deny the heartbreak that might come with that loss. And a sacred task of we who are still alive is to remember and honor those who have gone before us. So I'd like to lift up and remember 3 who died this past year. Coach John Beam, whose photo is up on the screen. Coach John Beam was a legendary football coach at Laney College and Skyline High School here in Oakland. A fixture in the East Bay for over 40 years, Beam was more than just a coach. He was a mentor, an educator, and a community giant who helped thousands of young men to navigate the challenges of urban life through the lens of football. Beam and his team at Laney were featured in the Netflix series Last Chance U, which highlighted his incredible ability to inspire and develop talent in student athletes. But sadly, last November, the Oakland community lost Coach Beam. He was fatally shot on the Laney College campus in what authorities described as a targeted incident. His death sparked a massive outpouring of grief from the sports world and the city of Oakland, with Mayor Barbara Lee describing him as a lifetime for thousands. At the memorial service Mayor Lee started, we've lost not only a coach, but a force of love, hope, and belief in young people, giving Oakland youth their best chance. At the end of her speech at the service, she adopted his trademark sign-off, saying for 4 decades he ended every huddle the same way. 2 claps. Ready? Ready. 2 claps. Ready? Ready. So, Coach, we are ready, and we are ready to honor you. So thank you for your inspiration and dedication to our Oakland youth. The second life I'd like to lift up is Andrea Gibson. Andrea Gibson was a renowned American spoken word poet, author, and activist. Their work often explored themes of gender identity, social justice, and love. Gibson, who was genderqueer, said, "I don't necessarily identify within a gender binary. I've never in my life really felt like a woman, and I've certainly never felt like a man. I look at gender on a spectrum, and I feel somewhere on that spectrum that's not landing on either side of that." In 2021, Gibson was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. They chronicled their health journey through their newsletter called Things That Don't Suck. And they described this period as transformative, moving from a life characterized by anxiety to one focused on what they called boundless bliss and presence. In 2022, after the diagnosis, they married fellow poet Megan Falley, who co-authored with them the book How Poetry Can Change Your Heart. And in 2023, Gibson was appointed the Poet Laureate of Colorado, a role that they held until their passing last July at the age of 49. Last year, an inspiring documentary called Come See Me in the Good Light was released about Gibson's life and their relationship with Falley. I saw it at the Roxy Theater in San Francisco, and it's also available it's streaming on Apple TV. Upon their death, tributes were shared by many in the literary and arts communities, including Jared Polis, the governor of Colorado, who called Gibson truly one of a kind. And if you haven't read their poetry, I highly recommend it. And then finally, Joanna Macy. Joanna Macy was an American environmental activist, author, and Buddhist scholar. She's best known for creating the work that reconnects. This powerful workshop, which I took when I was in seminary, is designed to help people face the global ecological and social crisis of our time without falling into despair. Macy also coined the phrase the Great Turning, the transition from an industrial growth society to a life-sustaining society. As in the song We Shall Be Known by Mammoose, it is time now. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. Joanna Macy passed away last July at age 96, and she leaves behind a massive legacy in the fields of deep ecology and active hope, not passive hope. Things will turn out how they turn out, but active hope. And what is our role in helping to build the world we dream of? So her teachings are a rich source of material for sermons. So I've preached before about her teachings, and I plan to do that more in the future. But Joanna also leaves behind the legacy of her family. This is closer to home. This is close to the bone. Joanna's family are part of this community. Her son Jack, daughter-in-law Charlotte, granddaughters Eliza and Lydia, and also her daughter Peggy and Julian, her son. Joanna's death is a profound personal loss for many of us, but especially for her grieving and grateful family. I thank you, Joanna, from the bottom of my heart for the legacy you left with your wild and precious life. Why don't you ring a few bells? So one for Coach Beam, one for Andrea Gibson, and one for Joanna Macy. So we now are going to invite all of you who are here, and actually the people on Zoom as well, to participate in our tolling of the bell ritual. This is what we do every first Sunday of the year. And so row by row, each of you are going to come down, and you'll have a chance to speak into the microphone the name or names of the people who you are celebrating and grieving. And then Sarah will give you a candle. And as Jeff instructed the children, start by placing your candles in the center so that we don't burn our hands when we're trying to place ours. And then, as you've noticed, Vince is here to ring a bell after each person. So let's go ahead and maybe start in the back this time and come forward row by row. And you all know how to do this. So actually, this microphone.
Do you want to have one on each side?
Sure. Well, no, Sarah's going to do the candles.
Okay.
So come on, Chris, come on up and say who it is that you're celebrating or grieving.
My friend's son, Abel LaRue, Melly Hess, and Judy Cope.
Mr. Daniels, my high school biology teacher.
Renee Leach, one of my best friends.
Relatives Debbie Shoji and Vicky Matsuoka, and sister-in-law's dog Ginger.
My high school friend, 40 years, Kerry Parker, and my cousin, Bakery Tua.
So,
Tammy Brown.
Sharon Jobson. My friend Aaron Harris.
The people of Palestine.
keep coming.
My cousin Terry Mitchell and my friend Paula Rigello.
So just let the rows, when you see the row, well, anyway, just keep coming.
German short hair, Benny Newbold, grandmother, mother, and sister, Judith Benner, and Daniel Hirsch, environmental activist.
My cousin's family dog, Rambo.
My aunt, Bernice Miner.
My 18-year-old cat, Reggie.
Oh, yeah.
My friend's daughter, Daisy.
My grandfather, Julian Blum.
My father, Edgar Dixon.
My cousin, Janie Giuliani.
My mother, Joanna Macy.
My best friend, Cynthia Scow. I wanted to save you.
The mothers and the fathers.
The people lost in Altadena and the Palisades fires.
My Uncle Frank and my colleague Josh.
All of the members of the Latino community who have gone missing or been hurt by this administration.
All the people who have died of alcoholism and drugs.
My dearest friend, Maria.
My friend since childhood, Michael Wright.
My dog Lady, who was with me for over 10 years and died just 1 month ago.
My mom, Karen Strite, who died 6 weeks ago.
My wife's grandmother, Annie, my father, and a family friend, Heather Carroll.
The best boss ever, Justice Timothy Aloysius Reardon, and the very generous Sharon Homan.
Betty Reed Soskin, the nation's oldest Park Service ranger.
My father, William Grossman.
My good friend Brian that passed away last year.
My dear friend Linda Wilson and member of this church.
Lance Elliott.
Timothy Lloyd, son of dear friends of ours.
My father, John Rourke, my uncle, Reverend O.C. Edwards, and my sister-in-law, Bethany Corbin Pavlovsky.
Dr. Marvin Boomer.
My great uncle, Wiki Wachowski.
My friend, Robin Lakehoff.
He's the only person either of us knew who died this year.
So many victims of political violence around the world.
Betty Gaona, a friend for 43 years.
Friends from childhood, Stephen Bumble and Dave Allen, and a courtesy aunt for my whole life, Peg Olson.
Robert Redford, and my pal of 19 years, Nikki.
My close friend, Pat Cregan.
Bev Smirha and Lisa McCormick.
My cousin and dear friend, Kathy Holder.
My dear sister, Barb, who passed away in February.
My second mother, Mariana Tepley, and USAID, an institution that helped many around the world.
My dear friend Susan, friends for 50 years. My friends Kalyan Dutta and Jot Bindra.
Jay Walrod.
My friend Barbara Winslow.
She's got that.
Poet Martha Salino and Noah.
Baby Theodore Chase Baxter, and all the children in Palestine.
Rob and Michelle Reiner and the boatsmen killed off the coast of Venezuela.
All those affected by ICE, families torn apart, deaths, deportations, including my niece's husband and a dear friend in Southern California.
my Aunt Sally Fallhaber, and Anne Fagan Ginger, civil rights activist and family friend.
And we have more from the people who are joining us virtually. So John Shinnick, I think that you wanted your family up north and some down south to be part of our embracing meditation. But also light a candle for musician John Lodge and John's roommate from his college days, Ed McClendon. And Sherry Larson Beville for my high school friend Caroline McDonald Browse. Evelyn Seidman for Martha Lee McCarty, a friend from work. Glenn Delbaca, my childhood friend Robert Barnett. Another one from Evelyn, my father's cousin, Leo Rogan. John Shinnick lifts up Gretchen Gefallen. Sally honors Alan Sunauk, musician and Zen monk. And Dick Bailey, Greg's uncle Johnny Hunt, and Dick's nephew Brent Martin. Let's just take a moment to behold all of those candles that are lit in the memory of those who have died and who we want to remember. So Vince. So we've gathered together this morning to grieve together and to celebrate the lives of those who we have lost. But a sacred task of we who are still alive is to remember and honor those who have gone before us. And so there's a responsive reading that Sarah and I will lead, and there are parts for you as well. In the rising of the sun, and in its going down, we remember them.
In the blowing of the wind,
and in the chill of winter, we remember them.
In the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them.
In the blueness of the sky and in the warmth of summer, we remember them. In the rustling of leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them.
When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them.
When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them. So long as we live, they too shall live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them.
When I signed up to be worship associate for this service, I was thinking back on last year. a year in which both my best friend's mother and my mother died, and how meaningful it was for me to come here to stand amongst you all and light candles and speak their names aloud. I was thinking how grateful I am to have a community that recognizes the power of ritual to hold us when our lives ask more of us than we can hold alone. I was thinking what I think each year, how many sorrows there are, how tender is that steady stream of voices, how much we need each other. And I was thinking that this year I could help create the ritual for others who have suffered losses this year. I could step back a bit from that personal connection into another role. And then last Sunday, my Aunt Sally died suddenly and unexpectedly, reminding me that as long as we love one another, we can never step away from the possibility of loss. So I find myself here today both creating and being held by the ritual. And so it is for all of us. None of us are here at First Unitarian in just one role. We all bring our own needs and our own capacities, sometimes giving, sometimes receiving, as we come together to make sense of things or just to wonder together at what can't be fathomed, where we find a place to grow, a framework for understanding, a platform for action and celebration and comfort in sorrow. This is why First Unitarian matters. This is why we are here. This is why I am here. Before we receive this week's offering, I'd like to invite Romaine Charity up to tell us about the organization that will be getting half of the plate for the month of January, the Oakland Alliance Against Racism and Political Oppression. Romaine?
Thank you. I want to thank the First Unitarian of Church of Oakland for inviting the Oakland Alliance to speak. I'm again Romaine Charity, and the Oakland Alliance Against Racism and Political Repression was an organization founded by political prisoners Angela Davis and Frank Chapman after they were freed by an international movement to free her and other political prisoners in the Black Liberation Movement. And they wanted to create an organization that is capable of fighting against the racist and capitalist system that keeps Black, brown, and working class people down. And we have established ourselves here in Oakland to do that very thing. The family we are working with is the family of Jelani Lovett, who was an Oakland native who was jailed in LA County, in LA Men's Central Jail. He was found dead in solitary confinement in 2021, and the initial autopsy report by the coroner's office declared that he had died of a fentanyl overdose, but it was later discovered through, almost by accident, pictures that a funeral director had taken and showed to his mother, Terry Lovett, that he was bruised and beaten, had his arms dislocated, and was disfigured. And none of this was in the initial autopsy. Shame on the LA County sheriffs. And this is not new. California has had over 2,000 in-custody deaths since 2008. Shame. Last year, approximately 50 people have died in LA Men's Central Jail alone. That is almost a death a week of Black and brown men being declared addicts who overdosed when there is something more nefarious going on, and none of it is being investigated, none of it is being exposed. But as a fighting organization that came out of the movement to free political prisoners and people tortured in prisons and jails, we are going to take that fight to LA County Sheriffs, and we are going to do that by raising enough money to have a second independent autopsy of Jelani Lovett's body and have evidence to put the officers who did this to him behind bars. I just want to quickly also give a piece of the power that organizing has already had on Jelani's family's lives and other people whose families had died the same way. On August 19th, we held a statewide protest with Terry Lovett, along with other organizations and families throughout the state of California. And we had gotten over 1,000 petition signatures demanding that the Attorney General, Rob Bonta, actually investigate what is happening in California's jails and in LA Men's Central Jail specifically. Statewide, at every single one of his offices, we had to deliver those petitions. And almost not even 2 weeks after, we successfully pressured the Attorney General to sue the LA Men's Central Jail for the just conditions and the deaths that have been happening in there. We successfully did that, and we want to move forward. But beyond just suing, we need to have these individual officers held accountable. And that is what the second independent autopsy is going to be doing. On January 10th, so this Saturday at 2 p.m. here at this church, we are going to have a fundraiser to fund the second independent autopsy and fight these LA sheriffs cover-up and bring them to justice once and for all, not only for Jelani, but for the hundreds and thousands of other families who are demanding answers. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Romaine, for that introduction to this very important organization. So as the baskets pass, please give generously, because half of it is going to that work, and the other half is supporting this work. It's all important. Would the ushers please come forward? And if this is your first time, feel free to let the baskets pass. We're just really happy you're here. And now for some beautiful music.
There's no place in this world where I'll belong when I'm gone. And I won't know the right from the wrong when I'm gone. You won't find me singing on this song when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. And I won't breathe the bracing air when I'm gone. And I won't even worry about my cares when I'm gone. Won't be asked to do my share when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. And I won't be running from the rain when I'm gone. And I can't even suffer from the pain when I'm gone. Can't say who's to praise and who's to blame when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. I won't see the golden of the sun when I'm gone. The evenings and the mornings will be one when I'm gone. Can't be singing louder than the guns when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. Or my days won't be dances of delight when I'm gone. The sands will be shifting from my sight when I'm gone. Can't add my name into the fight when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. And I won't be laughing at the lies when I'm gone. I can't question how or when or why when I'm gone. Can't live proud enough to die when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm place in this world where I'll belong when I'm gone. And I won't know the right from the wrong when I'm gone. You won't find me singing on this song when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here.
Thank you, Don and Nancy and Kerry. And Phil Oakes wrote that when he was 25.
So one more thing. I believe Charmaine has some flyers about the event. Is that true?
Yeah.
Romaine, I'm sorry, I mixed up your two names. Romaine Charity. Romaine has some flyers about the event, so you can check with him after the service. And now would you please join in the blessing of our offering?
To the work of the church, which is weaving a tapestry of love we call community, we dedicate ourselves and these our offerings. Thank you. Michael? There you are.
Had to get out of the way. Hi, my name is Michael Schaefer, and I'm on the board of directors of this institution, and I'm glad to see so many people still here. So, announcements. Join us in Venti Hall afterwards for coffee hour. This weekly ministry of warm welcome is able to happen thanks to volunteers who bring snacks, run the dishwasher, and so much more. There's a weekly sign-up sheet. Please talk to volunteers in the kitchen to learn more about it. Our church is in an important season for capital improvements for this beautiful 135-year-old building. Next Sunday, we will have a shortened service around practicing resistance, then continue in this hall with a congregation-wide forum and Q&A about the state of the building, preservation plans, and fiscal decisions. Our operations team, building integrity team, and board members are working hard to make sure that our whole congregation stays updated in this endeavor as we build to the special congregational meeting on February 1st. Please stay for the session. Childcare will be provided. And finally, here's our annual public safety announcement. The church is seeing an uptick of spam emails that pretend to come from Reverend Laurel and other staff. These emails usually get more frequent during the first quarter of the year. Please always check that staff emails have UU Oakland in the address. There are spam emails that use Reverend Laurel's actual name. Staff never solicit personal banking information over email or payments in gift cards. Thank you.
Well, we have a special closing hymn. Kim, our choir director, will sing the verse. And why don't you go ahead and rise again in body or spirit? And what we'll do is we'll sing on the chorus. The words will be on the screen.
When this life is over and I have gone away, I'm gonna leave this sweet old world, the trouble and the pain. And if I get to heaven, I will not stay. I'll turn myself around again and fall down as the rain. Fall down as the rain. Fall down as the rain. Turn myself around again and fall down as the rain. When I finally reach the ground, I'll soak into the sod. I'll turn myself around again, come up as goldenrod. Come up as goldenrod. Come up as goldenrod. Turn myself around again, come up as goldenrod. And when I turn dry and brown, I'll lay me down to rest. I'll turn myself around again as part of an eagle's nest. Part of an eagle's nest. Part of an eagle's nest. Turn myself around again. Part of an eagle's nest. And when that eagle learns to fly, I'll flutter from that tree. Turn myself around again as part of the mystery. Part of the mystery. Part of the mystery. Turn myself around again as part of the mystery. When this life is over and I have gone away, I'm gonna leave this sweet old world, the trouble and the pain. And if I get to heaven, oh, I will not stay. I'll turn myself around again and fall down as the rain. Fall down as the rain. Fall down as the rain. Turn myself around again. Fall down as the rain. One more time. Fall down as the rain. Fall down as the rain. Turn myself around again and fall down as the rain.
Want to remain standing while we extinguish our chalice?
This flame, these flames continue. Start over. These flames end, but the work continues. May our hearts remain open as our practice of compassion grows stronger with each passing day.
And for those of you who are relatively new, Emily Stoper will be up front here after the service if you'd like to have your questions answered. And I offer as my benediction something that I read that Heather Cox Richardson said. She said, let's take this year for a spin and see what we can accomplish. So together, let's take this year for a spin and see what we can accomplish. And let's now go celebrate with a little coffee and companionship. Amen. Thank you.